And then gaming gets load balancer. What is load balancer? It's nothing but this. Excalibur, let's say you have an API. Okay. So you just imagine that you have only one API and everyone is visiting the same API, perfectly the same API, and it's doing its best. It's responding with all the things users wanted, but it can only handle, let's say, theoretically like 7,000 requests in an hour. But what if it has 1,000 requests in an hour? Maybe you are setting a deal. Maybe you are doing something in your website and a lot of people are visiting. So the one way is to obviously buy a bigger PC or a computer which handles it. That's one way, which is called as horizontal or vertical load balancing. There are two ways, but I don't really know the definitions of it, but this is how it works. So one way is, this is the older API, which is big, but basically they will write and they will have a clones of another API. So something like this. So now the two APIs will basically, they are identical. They are the same APIs. It's just, oh, I had the specs command. I have a 3080. So what does it do is, there will be on top of a load balancer here. Load balancer can be anything. It can be your own program. It can be Nginx. It can be a reverse proxy load balancing. Let's consider it as an Nginx as of now. There are different tools. CPU, it's an i5 13600K and RAM is 32 gigs. I have used all my 4 slots. It's a fast PC. It's fine. So let's talk. You can there are different Nginx load balancer. You can use Docker, you can use Kubernetes, you can use. So let's keep it simple. Load balancer, what it does, it just analyze how many people are visiting your things, and it would just split those load into whatever conditions you have given. So let's say it's a read request, that will be sent to another API. If it's a write request, that will be sent to another API. So those rules are depending on you. So it's flexible. There is no strict conditions. Let's say you have 3 different aspects in your application. One is for deals, other one is for YouTube. If both are written in the same API, and that means every request will come to that API. But if in case you can split all deals to be sent to that API and all YouTube will be set to that API, that's called load balance. So the complex version of this is we can use Docker or containerization, Kubernetes, what it does. So let's say you are only getting 10 requests per minute. So you don't really need load balancing. For that, all you need is a single API. But you know that in a coming 1 hour, there is some event you are going to do. That means you can expect 12,000 requests per an hour. So what Kubernetes does is, it would just replicate all these APIs. You can set how many that does. It's a little bit complex, but it will just replicate it. If you're getting like 100 requests in a second, it would just make clones of all those APIs, and it would just balance the load. And once the requests go down, and it will kill all those remaining containers. So load balancing is a wonderful thing which happened to software engineering, but corporates try to make it a little bit more complicated. So load balancing was not new. It was there for 20 to 30 years before. So previously, this is what they would do. There is an API which cannot handle 1,000. They would rent out computers before. They would rent out real hardwares to run their APIs in their computer. And they would split the request using IP addresses or server IDs, so that all these server requests will be going to that computer and all these requests will be going to that computer. So that's how people did it before cloud. But after the cloud, everything will be handled by them. They will just spin up more Docker containers, or they will just decrease the container. This is just a walkthrough or a top level instructions. For a hobby project, you can try using reverse proxies or CADI or Nginx to learn how load balancing works. You can write your own rules. There is there is something called geo load balancing, where there will be a separate server for India, separate server for America, and whatever the server request comes from India will be not routed to US servers, so that it can have its own load balancing. So I guess you guys.
Gaming Keetsa says, thanks bro, client and server mad high low.
Thanks. Client and server madhyalo. Client and server madhyalo na load balancing etla. What is the application? That is important. Whatever I just said is also client and server. You don't like it? Oh, which laptop? This is a PC. It's a PC custom build 3080. I have these many drives, these many.
Gaming Keetsa says, API related whatever you said.
Yes. Client and server is all. Are you talking about front end? API is all client and server. Gaming kits, frame your question one more time. Give me an example of what scenario you're talking about so that I can understand. For front end, there isn't much load balance. I didn't really save it in my bookmarks, but there is a blog post which is a really big blog post. But if you can read it, it will have the basics of load balancing of different types based on different conditions. Oh, I'm not funny, Dead. Welcome to the stream. I'll be dead honest. I have no shame in admitting that I have no skills in hacking. So I just don't know how to
Gaming
answer that.
Keats says, only Docker and Kubernetes.
Yes.
Can we build our own load balancer?
Yes, we can. If you are using container-based deployments, so let's say each API is sitting in a container, then obviously Docker and Kubernetes is needed. But if not, then we would need a different approach. So this is what I did. There is a tool called pm2, if you're aware of it. So you can try this cluster mode. So Node.js has an inbuilt cluster. So this is where you define your cluster rules, and the other one would just monitor and analyze, set up those clusters. It's going to use the default Node.js cluster. So I think I visited this site. So on error, you can do what needs to be done. On exit, you have to write your own rules. So you can write your own network ports, but I didn't really write a port-based listener. I wrote a route-based listener. I don't know that. I didn't really know how does that thing works, but I forgot round robin algorithm. I have no shame to admit that I totally forgot about it. These are like computer science basics, but I have done my graduation. It's been 9 years now. I forgot some basics.